What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Garage Topics. Today is a great day because we are surrounded by a classic Bronco, and you can see there's some small things that have changed to it since we last spoke, and so that's what this video is all about. We're going to take a look at the actual quality of the body on this thing and see what we can do with it. If you're new to this channel and it's first time watching, first of all, thanks. And if you want, subscribe and like the video because there's tons more content of this Bronco coming down the road, along with garage build content and other vehicles. If you're an OG, you know that I've built this garage recently. I'm in the middle of editing and filming for that. And what little time I have, I look at this Bronco every now and then because this garage still isn't finished. So lots of work to do. But I'll show you the couple things that I found out since the last video, and then we'll actually take it out, the sun, pressure wash it, and see if we can get the thing looking better because the roof of this has not been touched at all, and a lot of this body still has got a bunch of tree gross gunk on it. This Bronco is being repainted at some point in time. It originally is that candy apple red, and it's been, I think, resprayed that same red, but the sun or something has done terrible things to it. It just looks like this gross, weird maroon kind of color, and so I don't plan on painting this anytime soon, but the original color of this is awesome. And if I can make that original color pop and it looks somewhat patinaed, I'm pretty happy. I'm using this graffiti remover. It seems to be working rather well from Goof Off. You spray it on, let it sit for a little bit, and then wipe it off with either a Scotch-Brite pad or just some paper towels. You can see this fender here. Like, that is the original red. That looks incredible. The entire interior still has the original red. It looks really good. It's just, you can see this difference of nice red, gross red. All this primer here is sprayed on top of the respray of the car, so that just wipes right off too. I'll throw a picture up. I took all the wax and primer off this panel. It made a huge difference. All the yellow stuff on this was confirmed to be wax. I'm guessing someone put that on there to stop it from rusting even more. I'm not sure, but I think we're good. That might have helped me, but it looked ugly, but looking a whole lot better. I went to town last night on the hood. The hood is gross and it needs to be power washed real bad, but this whole section here, I tried my go at the Goof Off graffiti remover, and I started here and was pretty excited because most of it was red, the original paint. Got some nice patina marks in here. It's really cool. But you can see someone has done some body work to this hood at some point, so you've got exposed metal spots. You got a little bit of primer, Bondo right here. But I'm hoping that most of this is red. The whole front has had a bunch of work to it, I'm guessing because of rust, so there's a couple small holes here. If I respray this in the future, it'll get a whole new hood anyways. I'm not too concerned, but I'm hoping that at least 50% of this hood is this nice red color. And so we'll get to it here. I just stopped because pressure washing is going to make a huge difference. As far as I can tell, all the panels are original except for the tailgate and the front bumper. And the front bumper obviously is from a different front grill, I mean, is from a different colored Bronco. It actually looks kind of cool, so I'm not going to touch that patina anytime soon. But let me show you the rust on this driver door because I made some progress here as well. When I bought this Bronco, I could not actually open this door, or I could, but I couldn't look that well. So the top hinge had snapped, and the bottom hinge was no longer there. Like, the rust had eaten it alive, and I was like, this is going to be really bad. And the door posts on these are notorious for going bad, and I tried to find one that didn't have this issue. Thankfully, from what I can tell, 3 out of the 4 are perfect. It's just this front one that has not been replaced yet and needs some love. But I think we can do it and not touch a bunch of other panels because I started to have this while you're in there nightmare that I'd replace that panel, the panel touching that I need to replace, and so on and so forth. I end up with a brand new Bronco. I don't want that right now. I kind of like this old school vintagey look. So let me show you what I've been working with. So I swapped the hinges around. So the good hinge that was down here is up top here, and there's nothing on the bottom. But through further investigation, the plate that this attaches to, I found it's rusty up here. I can't bolt this in because it pushes the door too far forward because the rust has gone this way. So it's loosely bolted in here just so it can latch. And it doesn't go anywhere. I guess it does a little bit, but it needs to be addressed ASAP. So I'll open the door so you can take a look at what's going on here. And again, like it's kind of just hanging right now. It's like lopsided like that, but we're gonna get a good look at what's going on in here. Oop, that scared me. Whew! This rocker down here is pretty solid. There's a small hole right here, but I'm not gonna touch this anytime soon. This is, oh, actually, hold on a second. Ooh, nope, that's a little loose. I think that's fiberglass or something. Oh God. Anyways, that'll get replaced eventually. The floor pan on this side is toast. It's actually a lot worse than I thought it was, unfortunately. But the route to go would be to do a whole new one. I may do that. I'm not sure. Once I pull some of the carpet up and pressure wash it, I'll assess exactly what the situation is. Again, I wasn't trying to do a full restoration of this yet. I was trying to enjoy it and then slowly over time build it up, because that's part of the fun of this. This post here, pretty solid. It's starting to get some surface rust here. Doesn't look anything structural, like I can't put a screwdriver through it or anything yet. This part though, where the door latches, is solid, but like there's been some fiberglass work here, and I thought that this wasn't this way when I bought it, so I'm kind of bummed. But again, all this is replaceable. If I'm doing a full paint job, like it's 50-50 if I'd keep this tub or not and start from scratch, but we're not doing that anytime soon. Let's get to the worst of it. So this is Swiss cheese. This is the best look I've had at it. Like there's nothing there. It's gone completely. Thankfully, someone has already drilled out, or it's just rusted out. This is the rocker panel, and you can see where the spot welds were. So this whole panel is just separated. So this will be the first rust project. We'll sand down, grind down where the spot welds are to get this whole plate off, and then we'll replace it. And I couldn't tell from this side, but this plate on the back is rusted. I can tell from the inside, but it's a bummer, but we'll get it fixed and it shouldn't be a big issue. But yeah, like this red, beautiful. I wish the whole Bronco looked like that instead of this weird mess, but we'll take care of it. All right, let's open up this door, get it out of here, and do a pressure washing, because it is gross still, and I think this is going to help get rid of some of just the grime on it overall. On this side as well, I've taken a bunch of wax off and a bunch of primer, so it's dirty. But so pressure washing is going to go a long way here, especially for the top, because it is nasty. Got it outside, and I've got the other project here, which I haven't even revealed on the channel, but man, that thing is fresh, and I have too much ambition and not enough time and money, so I got a lot to do. But subscribe if you want more content on that and the SS, and of course, Tundra's going nowhere. That thing is sick. So I'm actually making a video as well about this pressure washer. It's a new one from Giraffe Tools, so be on the lookout for a specific video on that. I'm still getting a feel for it, making a review video on it, but we're going to use it to pressure wash this thing, get some of the grime off of it, and I'm going to spray some stuff on it, because again, I'm not too worried about the paint because it's almost not there. I'm going to do something that you wouldn't do typically to a paint wash job. The guys at Super Clean sent me this a while back, and I really appreciate it. I literally have just opened the box because I've been so busy and haven't had a great opportunity to use it. So Super Clean, I always use their wheel cleaner. It works fantastic. They've also got tire shine and oil pickup stuff, but I'm going to use a standard degreaser. I'm going to spray it mainly for the roof to get all that grime off. We'll see if it helps. Throw some other concoctions on it as well, but first pass, I'm just going to do some water, because from me razor blading it, look at all this flake. Like, it is gross. So this is going to make looking at this thing a whole lot easier. I'm probably not going to get to spraying out the interior too much today, but it needs to spray everywhere before we start doing aggressive work on it. So see what happens. This is looking 1,000 times better. I could spend hours doing this. I put the high pressure nozzle on, and it's actually picking up a ton of the resprayed paint. Like, it looks very different. So this brown stuff here, when I put that graffiti remover on, it goes away and turns red or rust. So very happy about this. It's looking very good. And you can see I could spend a lot more time, but the pressure washer was able to get this primer off. Like, this was all primed before, and you can see this metal, right? So it's gonna rust, but I think the look is gonna be killer. I got the roof clean, but it's all dirty now from all the crud that was in here. I'm just spraying this all out here to see exactly where we sit with rust. It's gonna need a full-blown spray out, but just to get me started to see where we're at, this would be helpful. So I haven't done any of the back yet, so we're gonna spray away and see what we can find. I have spent over an hour power washing this thing inside and out, and I could probably spend a couple more hours, but we're getting a good assessment on where the rust is. This actually is not as bad as I thought. It's bad there, but the frame looks good. The back is TBD. Man, no one was deceiving me, but I thought that was all dirt. It's like it's fiberglass dirt that's just being like flung around everywhere. I'm gonna have to do a deeper dive to understand how bad this tub actually is, but you can kind of get a sense here. So it's all been fiberglass. We knew that. This all up here, I just don't know what's going on. It's like this weird tarry goop that's like, see what I'm talking about? Like, I don't know. I have no clue what's going on here. Maybe that was glue to hold the carpet on at some point in time. Not sure, but like, this side is fiberglass AF, and you can see some holes poking through, right? So I already knew that. Like, more than likely, this is going to be redone on this side. Not anytime soon, hopefully, if we can prevent it, but trying to understand how severe stuff is. Like, weirdly enough, this floor is solid. There's a little, like a tiny bit of rust on the seams of the wheel wells, which what I originally used as my indication of how good or bad this thing was, but really interesting. This back plate here looks solid as well, so it's like it's hit or miss. Some places are bad, which I wouldn't expect them to be, and some places are really good, which I would expect them to be bad. So I'll have to do a deep dive, but I'm going to get this dry off and I'll do a recap once I get back in the garage. Having this thing back in the garage, you can tell how big of a difference that power washing made. We took off some paint that was flaking, but also the paint that remained just got all the grit out of it and brought out the red. So you can kind of tell that this was repainted the original color, to my belief. It's just over time that paint quality has just gotten so bad. There's a lot more work to be done on this hood. I'm going to get rid of all this primer because the primer is on top of the red. But you'll see here, I pressure washed all this off, and this is the original paint here. I'm going to show you how this works when I put that graffiti remover on it. Alright, here's the goof off, and hopefully my experiment works. I'm pretty sure it will. I'm going to put it on here and see what happens. Spray it for a little bit. And then, because of my previous experimentation with this, I'm not going to let it sit for a whole lot of time. Just maybe a minute or less. I don't know if you can tell, but it starts to appear more bright red. I'm hoping I'm going to scrub this and find red underneath here. So I'm going to try right here first. Oh yeah, look at that. It's red underneath. And here's some rust, but this is incredible. So this is like a scratch off. Finding out if I won the lottery or not. Oh yeah, look at that. And like this gets gunked up, so move on to another. This is nice to see that most of this hood is actually red still. Biggest difference is the top. Huge difference. So there's a couple rust spots, a couple specks to be expected, but this was black before, so I am rather excited by how good this looks. Mostly dried off in here, but yeah, like I thought this was all dirt. It's some kind of glue mess. I think it's a combination of rust, glue, and some dirt within that. I probably could stick my screwdriver through that. I'll find out here in a second, but yeah, it is crusty, but in some ways it's better than I thought. I think taking this roof off would get a better look at this. The next step is to take out the front seats and take out the front carpet to take a look, and I think we're going to start doing that because we're going to address that passenger door so we can actually open and close the door. Thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to getting into this project some more, as well as all the other projects I've got going on. Feel free to like and subscribe. It means a lot to me, and so it's going to keep these videos coming out more and more frequently. So I really appreciate it, the word, and spreading it. If you've got any questions, leave a comment. If you've got any thoughts on this Bronco, if it's too gone or not too gone, let me know. I will say I got overwhelmed initially looking at the quality of this Bronco. I'm like, oh, this is way over my head. But I've looked at other people's Broncos on YouTube, and what I thought were immaculate Broncos, when you actually look at it, they've spent a lot of time and effort along the years and making it a lot better Bronco. Like, to buy these in pristine condition, you're spending six figures. So not everyone's got six figures to spend on a basically fancy off-roader that's kind of old. So keep up the good spirits, and you'll get there. And you can follow me, and hopefully I keep the spirits up the whole time. So catch you guys later. Peace out.